Happy New Year and welcome to this edition of Tour Confidential on Golf.com, presented by FootJoy, the #1 shoe in golf. I'm Jessica Marksbury, joined today in our Lower Manhattan studio by Golf.com's Jeff Ritter. And Jeff, now that we have officially entered into 2016, it's time to start looking ahead to the majors. We're 4 months away from the Masters. So my question for you today is, let's pick a first-time major winner this year and match him with a major championship.
I think this is a fun one because there's been so many first-time major winners. Golf was, parity was the story of golf for so many years. And then really the last year and a half or so, you had Rory rise and then now the big three. So suddenly things have come into focus and it seems like it's a little bit tougher maybe for a first-time major winner than it used to be. I don't really see a first-timer breaking through at Augusta. Oakmont is possible because it's so long and so bruising. I'm going to go to Troon. The British Open, to me, feels like the most random major anyway because of weather and the quirkiness of the courses, and links golf offers more unpredictability. So I will say the British Open is the place. As for the golfer, I kind of like Brandon Grace for that one. A low ball hitter, another guy who made a dent in the majors last year and is due. So I will say it's the British Open and it's Brandon Grace. First-time major winner. Excellent picks.
You know, it's interesting when you look at kind of the rising stars like Danny Willett, Brandon Grace, who's been a familiar name in the majors for the last couple years. But then you look at the veterans, the guys that are in the top 10 in the official world golf ranking: Ricky Fowler, Henrik Stenson, Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, 4 guys that are in the top 10 that have not won a major championship. Now, I know Ricky Fowler is a popular pick. Dustin Johnson, obviously, we all expect him to win a major at some point. Patrick Reed, a guy that hasn't really performed well in the majors. Kind of surprising when you compare that to his performance in regular tour events.
Played golf right down the road, Augusta State. You'd think the Masters could be potentially a good fit for him. I think it is a good fit for him. I just don't know. I don't know that I see it this year, although Patrick Reed did have a much improved fall season. He kind of went away last summer. To me, Troon, I look at Troon, the last time we played there, the British Open came there, it was Todd Hamilton. Maybe the most random of random winners. And then even before that, 97 was Justin Leonard. That was his first major. So because of the track record at Troon, I really like it. But if we're looking at the Masters, I think Patrick Reed would be a good match for that.
You know who I'm thinking of for the Masters? Kind of out of the box a little bit, but Jimmy Walker. I mean, here's a guy who had such a great performance in the majors in 2014. Didn't really perform as well last year, but I remember talking to him last year for an interview in Golf Magazine, and he said he was so excited about the Masters, felt so good about Augusta and his chances there, and had an injury right before, kind of derailed, I would say, probably the majority of his major season. But that's a guy that I think could really come out all cylinders firing at Augusta this year.
We've entered January. This is Jimmy Walker's season, right? This is when he normally starts to make his run. At least he has the last couple of years. Not a bad pick. If he can get some momentum going now and carry it into Augusta, why not? He's certainly on the list of guys that you would say you wouldn't be surprised at all if he won a major. Jimmy Walker is certainly on that list. I still wonder about Ricky Fowler too. He feels like the most obvious choice when you ask this question. Even more obvious, I think, than Dustin Johnson, because Dustin Johnson's come close so many times and has this maybe some mental hurdles to get over. But Ricky Fowler, just that trajectory always seems to be going up, and you wonder if this is the year. He could win at any of the 4 venues. I'm just not picking him because it seems too obvious, but I still like his chances this year.
The thing to remember, if we're going to have a first-time major winner, they've got to make it through the new big 3.
That's true.
Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Jason Day. Jeff, thank you so much for your time and insight, and thank you all for joining us on this edition of Tour Confidential on Golf.com, presented by FootJoy, the #1 shoe in golf. We'll see you right back here next week.